Hey guys, welcome back to another exciting video, and here I am with the updates on the Haney vs Kambosos rematch. How did Haney outclass Kambosos? What will he be looking forward to now? And how will Kambosos perform in the previous fight? I'm gonna discuss all the details in this video. I advise you to keep watching till the end so you don't miss out on anything. Let's begin. Firstly, what do you need to know about both boxers? At the age of 19, Kambosos made his professional debut in 2013. Kambosos, an Australian and lightweight champion of the WBA, PABA, and WBA Oceania, defeated Mickey Bay and Lee Selby in 2019 and 2020. Then Teofimo Lopez and Kambosos squared battled in November 2021 for the WBA, IBF, WBO, and the Ring Lightweight Championships. In a split decision victory over the youthful champion, Kambosos outclassed him. Haney turned professional at age 17 after winning 7 national championships. Haney, who began his career by largely competing out of Mexico, won the WBC Youth Lightweight Championship in 2017. In 2019, Haney defeated Antonio Moran to win the WBC Lightweight Interim title. Haney was crowned the winner and has successfully defended the title 4 times. In December, he defeated Joseph Diaz by a unanimous decision. Up next, how did Haney outclass Kambosos in the rematch? By dominating Australian George Kambosos in a rematch on Sunday, American Devin Haney maintained his perfect record and retained his title as the undisputed lightweight world champion. At Melbourne's Rod Laver Arena, the highly regarded 23-year-old successfully defended his WBC, WBA, IBF, and WBO belts by unanimous decision. One judge scored the fight 119 to 109 in his favor, while the other two scored it 118 to 110. He accomplished the feat and became the first undisputed lightweight champion in the contemporary boxing history since Pernell Whitaker in 1990, and the first in the 4-belt era, which technically started in 2004 when he defeated Kambosos unanimously in June. His contract called for a rematch, so he employed his incredible speed, instinct, and relentless left jab once more. Still, this time he also landed powerful right hands that left the Australian bleeding profusely. So how did Haney describe his victory? Quote, "I used the jab, but also wanted to demonstrate other weapons in my toolbox after pummeling Kambosos, who did well to be present after 12 rounds. San Francisco-born Haney stated, quote, "When I first came out, I was unable to communicate, but I soon learned his timing and began aiming carefully. George Kambosos is a player. I take my hat off to him." He added, Haney is only the 7th boxer to simultaneously hold the 4 major championship belts from the WBC, WBA, IBF, and WBO. Up next, what's there to know about George Kambosos Jr.? How did he get beaten by Haney in another fight? The Australian's a flat-footed boxer who performs best when given the opportunity to mix things up inside. That is precisely what he did to defeat Lopez. He repeatedly outpunched Lopez and established the pace with a first-round knockdown. Kambosos was never really in the battle with Haney. All night he took punches while sitting at the end of Haney's protracted jab. As a result, he was never able to get near and struggled to succeed in front of his local crowd. Quote, "He didn't give up in the opening fight. Kambosos didn't take chances or dangers according to DiBella. He could not penetrate Haney's defense, and the fight was pretty sloppy, not only due to George's poor execution, but also because he never gave it his best. I'm familiar with him well enough to know that he won't lose in the same manner." So, where was Kambosos vs Haney 2 held? Kambosos put on a huge performance at Melbourne's Marvel Stadium for his first fight at home in 5 years. Kambosos and his group had chosen a more intimate setting without the attraction of the belts. The Sydney native was back in Melbourne, this time at Rod Laver Arena, rather than his eagerly anticipated homecoming. The facility, which serves as the main court of the Australian Open tennis competition, has a capacity of only about 14,000, which is considerably less than the 50,000 plus Marvel Stadium. Up next, how much money do both players get for a fight? Let's have a look at the prize money both players have gotten from different recent fights. According to Essentially Sports, Haney earned roughly $3 million for his battle with George Linares and about $2 million for his contest with Yuriokis Gamboa. In addition to the PPV incentive, Kambosos earned almost $500,000. Against Teofimo Lopez, he was said to have made nearly $1.2 million overall by Total Sportal. Haney informed Fight Hype that he he would accept less pay for his fight with Kambosos. According to Boxing Scene, the two boxers had agreed to a rematch as part of their agreement. Before the fight against Kambosos was called off, Vasiliy Lomachenko was offered a pay package similar to what Haney said he would accept. So, how is Devin Haney living the dream? It'd be an understatement to say that Haney, 28-0 with 15 knockouts, is living the dream. Not only have recent victories over Yuriokis, Gamboa, Jorge Leonares, Joseph Diaz Jr., and Kambosos confirmed the hype that following him into the professional ranks, but Haney's nickname The Dream suggests that this was part of Bill Haney's plan all along as the father, trainer, and manager of a talented fighter with a certain in-ring maturity that belies his young age. Quote, "I believe that I was simply born into this position. I thank God for it," Haney said. "I have exceptional talent and IQ in the ring. In the ring, I have confidence in my abilities. Nothing truly causes me concern since I'm confident in my abilities and the effort that I put out." Lastly, who are the next opponents for Devin Haney? The fight between Devin Haney and George Kambosos Jr. persisted even after Devin Haney was declared the undisputed lightweight champion in June. Haney once again outclassed Kambosos on Sunday at Melbourne's Rod Laver Arena to retain the titles. According to Kambosos' contract, the judges decided to rematch 119-109, 118-110, and 118-110. Haney can now turn his attention to other rivals in the division, so who might the 23-year-old champion face next? Quote, "We're going up against everyone. We want to compete against the best fighters in the world, whoever they may be. I think I'm the world's best fighter, so bring them on, whomever it is after them," said Haney. We could see Devin Haney as Vasiliy Lomachenko after losing his titles to Teofimo Lopez in 2020. Lomachenko, the former WBA, WBO, WBC, and the ring champion, has battled his way back into title contention. He has defeated competitors Richard Kami and Masayoshi Nakatani twice in a row. Lomachenko was recently in Ukraine defending his nation from a Russian attack. He wants to hold gold once more after returning to the ring. At the Hulu Theater in Madison Square Garden, he will make his comeback on October 29th against Jamin Ortiz. If both boxers prevail in their fights, the Haney family wants to see Lomachenko fight. According to Top Rank's Bob Arum, who told Seconds Out Haney performed his part. Haney concurred with Arum when asked recently on the MMA Hour about his next ideal matchup. Quote, "The Lomachenko bout, of course. It's a big fight that I'm energized by all of them because it makes the most sense. Gervonta Davis and Lomachenko are very much at the top of the list. I don't really rate other guys like that," Haney stated. Lastly, what other fights could we see Haney in? Yet another fight we could see is Devin Haney versus Gervonta Davis with mandated challengers and Ryan Garcia as options. Davis, the WBA regular champion, has choices. Then what about Haney? The two have waged a verbal battle on social media for years, but nothing has come of it. When Davis last competed in May, Roland Romero was eliminated in the 6th round. That was his 25th knockout victory. Haney wouldn't mind confronting Davis at some point, especially with a bout in December still up in the air. Haney wants to discredit Davis and everything he feels Tank stands for. According to Haney, the match has been anticipated for years. According to Boxing Scene, quote, "In the end, he's free to engage in a fight if he so chooses. He is the so-called WBA champion. The Mighty Mouse belt is on him. He has the option to become my mandatory if so chooses. To become mandatory at any time, all he has to do is go to punch Gilberto Mendoza and say, hey, we want to make this fight happen." Another fight could see in Devin Haney versus Shakur Stevenson. A 25-year-old is traveling to the division after failing to make weight for his matchup against Robson Conciaco for the WBC, WBO, and the ring titles. He stepped up from super featherweight. However, he let it be known that he wants Haney after the fight. Haney expressed interest in taking on Stevenson, who is now competing in his 3rd weight class. In an interview with Fight Hype, Haney stated through a bad left hook, quote, "That is a big fight to be made one day. We are all aware that this is ultimately a business. We have a lot of conversations and we are really good friends, so the right moment will arrive. But when it does, it will make sense to both him and me, and we'll get into a big brawl in front of the crowd. Who among these boxers dares to take on Haney? Do you think Haney can outclass all the fighters like he outclassed Kambosos? And what are your views on Kambosos' performance? Share your thoughts with us in the comment section below and subscribe to the channel. We'll keep you entertained with exciting upcoming videos. We'll be back in another video soon. Till then, my friends, take care. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one.